Good morning everyone, and thank you for joining me on yet another one of my little fishing trips. This morning is absolutely beautiful. The sun hasn't even come up yet and you can just tell it's going to be one of those picture perfect mornings. Take a look around me, no wind, perfect tides, and hopefully that all leads to a really good day's fishing. Now, my plan for the day is just to have a little bit of fun out here on Western Port's weed beds and shallow sand flats. So we're going to be targeting whatever dwells in these areas. So I'm expecting squid, whiting, flathead, salmon, trevally, snook, the whole range of critters which you can find out here. And it's going to be a bit of fun. Just going to have fun out here, enjoy the beautiful day and try and get onto some of my absolute favorites. So before we do anything else, I have a squid jig rigged up and ready to go. So this is a little roo jig with a chin weight on. So this is going to be sitting below the kayak while we drift along and get everything else set up. And you never know, we could get a cheeky squid before the day even starts. So we'll just get this over the side. Okay, nice. That's sitting down there near the bottom. I think on this tide change, I'm going to put all of my efforts into trying to catch some squid. It's a really good time for squid. Early morning, low light and tide. So should be really good. Got 3 rods out and I reckon we're going to rig all of them up with squid jigs. So we'll do that and then we'll start doing a few drifts. Now when I'm squidding, I like to mix up the colors. So we've got an orangey white one on there. I'm going to get a pure white one out, my all-time favorite, and this little rainbow one here. So this is going to be the second one, which will sit in the holder. A little rainbow one, and obviously all the jigs I'm running are roo jigs. Really good jigs for the price. If the squid go to plan, or maybe if they don't go to plan, we can switch it up, but I really want to try and get into some squid. This is the third and final jig, the full white, my absolute favorite jig. As you guys know, I rave on about white all the time. Let's get the first cast out of the morning. See what we can do. We've got a massive stretch of weed beds to cover. This thing stretches on for hundreds of meters, so my plan is just to slowly make my way along the weed bed. Very slowly going to pedal along. So the jigs which are below the kayak are going to be covering new ground, and obviously I'm going to be casting into new ground as well. Second cast of the morning. You'll notice that when I'm casting in very different areas. I might do one over there in the deep, one in the middle, one in the shallow, and then I'll keep on repeating that. Cover as much different water as I can. If squid are in the area, usually they're very aggressive, so they won't mess around when they have food in front of them. They'll just come over and slam it, and you should get them straight away. Cover ground, that is the most efficient and best way to catch squid. Oh, got one. We've got one. The camera just stopped recording, so I was going to fix it, and a squid has picked this up. That only took probably 4 or 5 casts into the morning, and we've hooked up to our first little squid. Some slight camera difficulties. It doesn't feel too bad either, actually. Good size eater, that one. Perfect. Got that jig back down really quickly, because usually squid can be in pairs. So see if there's another one around. Put that in the holder. Well, he's definitely not the biggest squid in the world, but it's a good start. Haven't been squid fishing for too long at all, and already got the first one down. If you're looking for baits or even an edible squid, he's a really good size one, so very happy with that. Good start to the morning. Hopefully there's a little bit bigger to come. I know there's bigger in this area. Good sign. Already got the first one of the morning. That was the first cast right up into the shallow, so that could be a sign they're pushed up real shallow on this high tide. There is a little bit of wind around this morning. I was actually thinking of going somewhere else, but I had a feeling that the wind might have been a little bit stronger than predicted. It's not too bad actually at the moment, but where I had in mind, it definitely would have been stronger. So I'm glad I came here. Gonna go for a little bit of a pedal. Didn't get any more squid in that area, so just gonna go down here a little bit and see if we can find another patch. As I said, squid fishing is a lot about covering ground. You just keep on going until you end up finding them. Come on, squiddlies, where are yous? Covering some really good water at the moment. It's like sandy, bit of seaweed in amongst it as well. It looks perfect. Squiddy as it gets. Oh, I think we got one in the holder. Yep, we do. There's one on in the holder. There we go. The rainbow holder jig. Nice. Kind of wish I had an underwater cam or something to get that eat. It's always really, really cool when they hit it like that. Like he would have been directly underneath the kayak, directly underneath. He's a good squid too. He's bigger than the first one we got. Get him in that net. Oh, there we go. He's a nice squid. Very good size one. And on the old rainbow. Get that back in. Nice. He's a good squid. Let's get a look at him. Second one down for the morning. It's been about an hour now, so it's been a little bit slow. I thought we would have had a really hot bite early up, but that's fishing. Still got 2 nice squid for the morning and plenty more time to fish, so very happy with that. Nice little fella. A couple of medium squid to start off the day. Right over there. It's probably about where that squid was. Man, I really want to try find a good patch of squid because as you guys have seen in the past, when there's a patch of squid, it's so much fun. You'll get one, then another jig will go. There'll be 2 more following it. It's just so much fun when they go off like that. Hopefully this area hasn't been fished too hard recently and we can make it happen. Here's that wind. Definitely a little bit of wind starting to whip up. Strong northerly. Another reason why I chose this spot is because it is protected from the northerlies. It's making me drift pretty quick though, which isn't ideal. I think we got one. Yep, another little one I think. Very little one. Might actually just let this little fella go. He's very small. See, buddy? It is now blowing 10 knots. So that is going to make fishing really, really hard, especially squid fishing on a drift. We're just going to be drifting way too quick. I'm going to push in as close as I can to land, try and get out of it a bit, but this isn't good. Okay, going to try something very, very different once again. Just rigged up a little 2.5-inch Z-Man grub on a Ned rig jig head. So what I'm going to do is kind of just hop that along the bottom. The plastic's going to be sitting up because the jig head is rounded at the front. So I'm hoping we might be able to get a couple of whiting or flatties doing this because at the moment the wind's up a lot, making it really, really hard to target squid. So for the meantime, we'll just give this a crack. You never know, I could find a new technique which really, really works. There we go. We got something. Didn't take long at all. That was first cast. It's a good flatty, wow. That is a really nice rock flatty. Oh, that is a cracking rock flathead. It's my biggest rock flathead ever. That's awesome. That was down there for like 1 minute. No kidding. That was first cast and we've caught a really, really nice rock flathead. That's a cracker. You guys have seen me catch some really big dusky flathead in the past, but for rock flathead, this is an absolute cracker. Take a look at him. A beautiful fish on that little 2.5-inch Houdini coloured grub. That is a beautiful fish. Rock flathead only get to about 60 centimetres in length at the biggest, and that is a beautiful one. He would be up around 50 centimetres, I reckon. An awesome rock flathead on the little Ned rig plastic setup. That is so cool. First cast out there with the little plastics. We've got a beautiful big rock flathead. He's coming home. Was not expecting that at all. First cast out there with the little soft plastic. I was kind of giving up for the day, to be honest. Like, it had been really, really slow on the squid front, so I thought I might as well just try something super out there, just see if we can get any attention from some whiting. I was hoping to catch whiting or some of those rock flathead, and we caught the target on the first cast. That is awesome. I'm just going to lather the plastic up with a bit of this Procure mullet scent. If there's any whiting down there, they love a bit of scent, a bit of smell to a lure, so I'll just butter that up and get it back down. So pretty much what we're working with here is we have a big weed bed to the left, and then it slowly disperses into sand patches. So there's sand on the right, and I'm kind of working that middle ground where there's still some sandy patches and weed beds, both mixed in together. That's where I find a lot of these whiting sit, and also the flathead as well. Gives them areas to sit in ambush in the sand, and also the bait fish are coming from the weed and hiding in the weed. There's another fish. I think we're having a couple of little bites at the moment. It could be some whiting. The whiting are going to be really hard to hook because obviously we're using a jig head. Whiting have small mouths and they usually eat the plastic or the bait from the back and kind of engulf the whole thing. It's definitely a bit of weed down there. It's the example of the bottom. Weedy. The wind's making it so hard to do any type of fishing. Just got to pedal into it and do the best I can, really. There we go. We got a fish. Oh my goodness, a grass whiting, the smallest one you've ever seen. That is a baby grass whiting. He didn't mean to get hooked up, I bet. There we go. There's a fish. I felt him grab that. What's that going to be? Is that another grass whiting? It's funny, I'm actually feeling him hit it. Like they must be sitting on the front of it or something. Hooked in the exact same spot. Very weird. You would have thought the King George would hit it before the grassies. Another one. That had just got back to the bottom and that's on again. I think that's a King George whiting maybe. I know, little flatty. Actually starting to get some fish on the board using this method. That's really cool. It's a much smaller flathead and I think it's a sand flathead, not a rocky. Yep. See you, buddy. There's a massive variety of flatties, but that one was definitely a sand flathead. Keep on lathering that plastic up every 10 minutes or so. I'm going to keep on putting scent and reapplying scent onto the lure and hopefully that'll get us some more bites. But so far, only been fishing this thing for probably 15 minutes and we've caught a few fish, couple flatties, couple grass whiting. It's been pretty good going. Oh no. Tell me you've seen a wind knot worse than that. It's that rod done for the day. I'm not even going to bother trying to fix that. Well, unfortunately, the lighter combo is done for the day, so I'm going to have to use the heaviest stick to throw around this little plastic. Hopefully it's not too much of a pain, but yeah, it's going to be way harder to feel the bottom and stuff. Oh, that's a good hit. Wow. That smashed that, whatever that was. That's a good fish. Is that a pinky? That smashed it. What are you, mate? That is a pinky. How's that? Right in the shallows here. It is only like probably a metre or two of water. And that's a pinky. It's a good pinky which has smashed this little plastic. It's pretty cool. Look at that. He got that down his gob, that's for sure. How was that? As soon as that fella hit, I had a pretty good idea of what he was. It's a really, really nice little pinky. That is super cool. We'll let him go. He's bleeding a little bit. Alright, buddy. I'll let you go. Oh, I wasn't expecting a little snapper along here. I thought for sure we might have got some whiting, maybe a trevally, but didn't think we were going to pinky. That was cool. A little bit of a multi-species bag over this area here. Wind's been really annoying today, but we've still managed to get onto a few fish. Squid and those other ones. There we go. Feels like a decent little fish. Ooh, yeah, good head shakes on that. Is that another flatty? Could be another flatty, I reckon. Definitely could be another good rock flatty. I think it is. It is. It's another cracking rock flathead. The second good rocky of the day. It's another beauty. Man, they're all such solid fish. That is another cracking rock flathead. That is awesome. Found out a little style to catch some rockies. They are strong for their size. That right there is the second cracking rock flathead for the day. That is awesome. Another good rocky. They are beautiful little fish. That is so cool. On the 2.5 inch Z-Man grub on the little Ned rig, they are just loving it. That is another quality fish. He's over 40 again. In the 40s for sure. Beautiful little fish. Unfortunately for those fellas, they taste so good. They're like the best eating flathead, and that's the second one we've got. So we've got a really nice feed of the best eating flathead you can get. Super happy with that. Seems like we found a really, really effective way of targeting these fellas. We've caught two. They're not a fish which you're going to really catch in abundance. You're only going to get a couple here and there, and that's kind of what we've done today. This little plastic's been the dynamite one, the killer, the rock flatty slayer. Alright, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to wrap this one up here. So if you enjoyed, be sure to give this video a like, comment your thoughts down below, and I'll see you in the next one.